The rain slapped the windows of Howard's rags and relics. A cluttered pawn shop nested between a laundromat and a boarded-up diner in Noir. The place reeked of dust and desperation, a perfect haunt for all things forgotten. And Howard Wells, owner and eternal cynic, was the keeper of these ghosts. Tonight, however, Howard wasn't alone. His girlfriend, Trish Donnelly, platinum blonde, too much eyeliner, and more ambition than sense, paced the store like a cat before feeding time. "You're telling me," she said, gripping the counter, "that the guy just gave you the box and ran?" Howard nodded, sipping his gas station coffee. Didn't say a word. Dropped it like it was on fire. Drove off before I could ask anything. Trish lifted the camera from the wooden box. It was sleek, antique, somewhere between 50s spy tech and Cold War paranoia. A thin, humming energy vibrated beneath its brass frame. "No brand, huh?" she asked. "Nope, just one button." Howard pointed, and no way to open it. No SD card slot, no film. Trish turned the lens toward Howard and clicked. A photo slid out the side like an old Polaroid. She waited. The image developed fast. 5 seconds, maybe less. Her brows furrowed. "Howard, look at this." The photo showed Howard, but not here, not in the shop. He was sitting on a park bench, holding a hot dog, laughing. Howard frowned. "I haven't been to Winston Park in a week." "You're wearing the same shirt." Howard checked. "Same blue flannel." He muttered something underneath his breath. "Well, maybe it took a photo from early. It's dark outside." They started at the camera. Trish took another shot. This time, the photo showed her. She was wearing a red dress she hadn't put on in months, standing in what looked like a casino, champagne in hand. Howard let out a low whistle. "Looks like you upgraded." "Looks like we both did." They looked at each other. By morning, Trish was in Howard's lap, giddy as a kid on Christmas. The camera, they now referred to it only as her, had taken 5 pictures, 5 snapshots of things that hadn't yet happened. 3 had come true within hours. Howard had ended up the park by accident when his car broke down. A hot dog vendor gave him a freebie while he waited for a tow. And Trish had received a mysterious text about modeling audition at a local hotel, where she was told to wear red. It matched the image perfectly. The other 2, still pending. "Maybe we can bet on sports," Trish said, legs across Howard's lap. "Or stocks. Or lottery tickets." Howard pulled out his phone. "Jersey pick 4. Draws in 2 hours. Let's test it." He pointed the camera at the TV and clicked. A photo slid out, revealing the night's winning numbers before they were even drawn. They won $5,000. By the end of the week, Howard and Trish were high on success, blowing money on clothes, parties, and a suit at the W Hotel. But the thrill wore off fast, especially when Howard tried to take a 6th photo. Nothing. No click, no hum, no photo. "Maybe it's jammed," Trish offered. "No," Howard said, shaking it. "I think it's out." They stared at each other. How many photos did it take? 5. She bit her lip. 5? That's it? That's all? It's antique tech. Maybe 5 was the limit. They were silent for a while, until Trish smirked. There's always eBay. They found another. A man in Pennsylvania listed what looked like the same camera, describing it as a broken novelty item. Howard and Trish drove 5 hours to buy it in cash. Same shape, same hum, same single button. Howard tested it in the seller's kitchen. A photo developed, showing the seller looking horrified and Howard holding a wad of cash. They left within 5 minutes. The seller locked the door behind them, never asking for payment. By now, they understood the rules. Each camera took 5 pictures. They always depicted a moment, minutes or hours into the future, never more than a day. They couldn't be rewound or reused, but the images were always right. Howard started gambling. Horse tracks, roulette, football bets. Trish modeled the life she'd seen in her first photo. Glamour, champagne, late-night parties. They burned through cameras like cigarette packs, buying them from old corners of the internet. Always secondhand, always abandoned by someone who clearly wanted nothing more to do with them. Each one, 5 photos, no more. But then came the 7th camera. This one was different. They picked it up from a thrift store in Hoboken. It looked the same. Brass, humming, 1 button. But when Howard pressed click, it spat out not 1, but 2 photos at once. Howard stared. The first showed Trish lying in their bed in a glittering silver dress. The second showed the same scene, but she was screaming, blood on her hands, the dress torn. She said nothing. That night, Trish modeled the silver dress. He hid the second photo. Over the next 2 days, the camera spitting out 2 photos per click. One, always bright, lucky, sexy, exciting. The other, dark, violent, twisted. Trish started to notice. "Why are you only showing me 1 photo each time?" she asked. Howard tried to brush it off. "You're paranoid." But she found the others. One showed Howard's face bruised and bloodied. Another showed a gun on their hotel bed. The last, Trish alone in the pawn shop, weeping, holding the empty camera. She confronted him. "You're hiding something." He didn't answer. "You think one of these is the real future? Which is it, Howard? Huh? The dream or the nightmare?" Howard looked at the brass frame, now resting on the table between them. "I don't know anymore." On the 5th click, the camera did something new. It took a photo of them together. Howard, Trish, both smiling. A sunset behind them. A beach, a peaceful moment. But it didn't eject a second photo. They both froze. Maybe it's fixed," Trish whispered. Howard nodded slowly. "Or maybe this is our ending." They agreed. No more cameras, no more gambling, no more futures. 2 days later, a courier delivered a box to Howard's hotel room. No return address. Inside, a camera. Not one they'd ordered. Howard picked it up. This one was black, not brass. Sleek, cold to the touch. He set it on the table and backed away. "I didn't buy that," he muttered. Trish narrowed her eyes. "Then who did?" The camera clicked on its own. A photo slid out. Trish picked it up. Her hands trembled. "What is it?" Howard asked. She turned the image around. It showed their hotel room exactly as it looked now, but empty, abandoned, the curtains fluttering, blood on the floor, and the black camera on the table. They left within minutes. Howard locked the hotel room behind them and threw the black camera into the Hudson River. They stayed with Howard's brother upstate for a week, deleted their social media, cut ties with everyone, tried to forget. But one night, after a quiet dinner, they found a Polaroid photo slipped under the door. Same black camera frame, same empty room, same blood. Only now, Howard was lying in it, and Trish was gone. They argued. She wanted to run, disappear. He insisted it was a prank, a sick game. But deep down they both knew the camera didn't just take photos anymore. It wanted something. One last time, they went back to Howard's Rags and Relics, the original pawn shop. Howard dug into the back room and found the first camera, the brass one, the one from the quiet man who never said a word. It was cold now, dead, but Trish picked it up anyway, just for a second, just to remember. And suddenly, there was a sound of click. Howard stared. "You didn't..." "I didn't press anything." A photo ejected. One single image, the fifth frame. They looked at it together. It showed Howard standing alone in the shop, looking down at a photo of himself. They burned the shop down that night. No goodbye, no insurance, no answers. They disappeared from Newark. Howard Wells and Trish Donnelly were never seen again. But sometimes, late at night, a strange listing pops up online. No description, no price. Just a photo of two people smiling at sunset, and the words, 5 frames, choose wisely.
If you enjoyed the video, like and share the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.